Hello, everybody. I am what is known as Talk Thoughts. What we're gonna be doing over this was a different channel originally, but we're gonna change it to this one because I just like talking my what's on my mind in the moment. So that's what this entire channel is gonna be basically about. Is just me talking what's on my mind on the day. So this is just gonna be a daily upload usually, unless I have to go or leave town for work, but it should be a daily upload of me just talking what's on my mind. So, yeah, let's get started. So, I guess the first thing that's on my mind is the world. Because recently, through some people and some other people, I've been like really down recently. And I was wondering, why do I keep putting myself down, I guess, in a way? Why in the world can I not just look at the positives? And I was not really a big positive guy when I was a kid. I was usually a really negative guy, actually. I would look at all the negatives and never look at the positives. But then I realized down the road that you need to look at positives and stop looking at all the negatives. Now, don't get me wrong, you need to look at the negatives every now and then because some negatives are glaringly wrong. But most of the time, you need to be positive. Like, say you go on a run, and when you're running, you trip and fall. Well, guess what? Uh, the positive about that is you get a little bit of a break, technically, from the run, but the negative is that you fall. Now you learn to get up and to brush yourself off, and now you know how not to trip anymore, or to trip, like how to not trip better. I guess that's a better term. See, you need to look at stuff that's positive instead of stuff that's negative. Because one thing that the world isn't gonna do is stop rotating. Or it is eventually, but right now, every day the world revolves once or twice or however many times. And while you are sitting like in your basement, in your room, on a bench, doing whatever, while you're just chilling there, minding your own business, doing nothing, that's what's called is time wasted. And you could do anything else with that time. You could play a game, read a book, do anything, talk to even a friend, even. And then that time now has usage. But you can use your time however you want to. I'm just saying, every time you wake up, you're into a boxing match with the world. And most of the time, the world wins. But those times that you beat the world, you're on top of the world. And that's where that phrase comes from being on top of the world, because you just won and beat it. Most of the time, you don't really get that, but guess what? After that day, you go right back into that ring and you fight again. So, I guess there's that. And another thing that's been on my mind is what people are now. When I grew up, people were really, I guess, wonky in a way. You didn't really understand what someone was going through because you couldn't really tell what someone's feelings were. Or at least I sucked at it, in a way. Like, I would not know if someone was sad, mad, crying, or I would obviously know if they're crying because, tears and stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't really know. And as I got older, I could usually pick up on this stuff like immediately. But then I realized like some people have different and more, I guess, confusing emotions than most do. Like some people are mad and sad at the same time, which is something that usually a lot of people do. But sometimes they could be mad and like depressed, which usually happens. I don't know why people get mad. I can always see why people are, or what people are mad at, or I can see people when they're mad, and then I could probably deduce why they are that way. And most of the time, it's from something that's like pretty tiny, like, oh, my favorite restaurant is closing down. It's like, okay, well, guess what? Look at the positive side. Now, instead of eating that restaurant every single day, you can now try something new, something maybe even better for your health or even better in taste. You can try something new. And sure that your restaurant that you liked your best, guess what, is leaving, but that's okay. Everything in the end of the day is okay. And that's one thing that I guess people don't really get told as much nowadays is everything is going to be okay. Because most of the time, or at least when I was a kid, asking a dumb question was kind of frowned upon. You're like say like, why is grass green? Freaking a guy would be like, that's a dumb question. Well, no, it's not. People need to be pushed to ask dumb questions, and why that even is dumb. For example, why is grass green? Well, it could be different for each person. Like pigments are a different thing. You need to know why. People need to be pushed more to be, like, guess, ask questions more. Ask about why things are this way and how did it become that way. You need to learn. And that's something that most people don't even do nowadays. No, people nowadays don't even take time out of their day just to sit down and read a book. Like, read something. It doesn't even, it could even just be a comic book, or it can even just be like a kid's book that's like 5 pages long. Just do something that, I guess, takes up time. Don't get me wrong, I've been known to indulge myself in some freaking video games and all that stuff. But then I will just turn it all off some days and just freaking, I don't know, read stuff. I'll read like what's gonna become or what's coming on my new game, or what's the weather gonna look like, or freaking what time or I'm working tomorrow. You need to know certain things. You can't just cut yourself off from the world. That's impossible. You can't cut yourself off from the world. The world will always have you attached to it. There is no way in the world to cut yourself off. Because you are part of this world. You are here for a reason, and you may not know why your reason for being here is yet, but I can assure you that once you find it, you will pursue that with your life. You will shoot at it towards the stars. And that's what people need to be pushed to do more, is just pushing yourself to do something to be better. To push to make other people better, or to make themselves better. It's even better when you can just make everyone happy. Now, to be fair, it's not, you're tracing your purpose is not something that's like easy as hell. No, it is a really tough climb. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Freaking, you can't just like waste all your stamina in the first 5 seconds sprinting, and then you get tired out, and then you don't want to chase it anymore. You have to make goals, tiny little goals, to build yourself up, to make yourself better than what you originally were. For example, like making a game or playing cards. Like, say, for example, I like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! One of your tiny goals could be making a deck that you like. Bam, there's a goal. Now you just need to play with that deck, learn the problems with it, and then fix it. See? Now that's another goal. And then you need to win at least 3 matches. There's another goal. And then you just keep building onto these goals and higher. You can't immediately throw yourself into a big goal like, I want to be the championship of this game. You cannot do that. Now, sure, or you can, but that's more of an end goal. And end goals take a while. End goals are marathons. Tiny goals are stuff that makes you pursue your, I guess, purpose or what you want to do better. Because then when you get a little pat on the back, that gives you reassurance that what you are doing is something that you can do for a long time in a long and better place. So I guess one thing that you can also do to make yourself better is by just having fun. Having fun in whatever you do. You could be sitting at a desk job, just minding your own business, typing away, and you could hate that job. But guess what? You need to find a way to make it funner. Because life is too short to not have fun. And there's like a bunch of, I guess, reasons why everything should be positive. The world nowadays is always looking at negatives. News places are looking at negatives. And to be fair, that is their job, to look at negatives. But I always say, look at the positives. We need more positivity in this world. I don't see it a lot. I will go to places and I will not see someone positive. I went to Denver recently. There are not a lot of people in Denver, or that I talked to and or met, that were positive. None of my, and some, I'm not gonna be honest, some of my friends aren't even positive. But freaking people need to be more positive. People need to be happier. And they may be going through something that you don't even know what they're going through. They could have like trauma or troubles, and sometimes you just need to be a pillar for them to lean on. And that's what you need to do. See, being a pillar is not just like holding people up, trying to be like this big macho guy and like holding up everyone, thinking that you're like the pillar of everyone to keep them above. You're the person. No, being a pillar is not about being strong. It is about being a good listener. To be a pillar, you need to know and need to listen to what people need. You need to be able to be a pillar that lasts forever for people to lean on. Then when you need someone to lean on, you need to find someone that can lean on. You can lean on. Because usually as a pillar, when a pillar leans on another pillar, that pillar is going to have a harder time holding the other person up, because guess what? Now they're dealing with all the people leaning on that pillar onto the next one, and then the next one, and it accrues. So, sometimes, yes, you might sacrifice, if you want to be a pillar for your friends, family, even just random people on the street, you might sacrifice your brain. You might sacrifice your sanity. But I see that as a small price to pay. Losing your mind is something that a lot of people do. And it could be from something stupid like losing their job, losing a loved one, or something else. But if you lose something to make someone else's life better, I see that as a positive. I gave something of mine to make someone else's life better. Like, I would, in a heartbeat, if I needed to, I guess, give something up of mine to help my friend out, I will do it in a heartbeat, because they were a friend of mine. And as a kid, I never really had many friends. I wasn't really a kid that liked having friends, but yeah. So most of the time, you just sacrifice stuff that just to get someone else's life better. And I think that'll do for this episode. So I'm just gonna, even if this video doesn't get any views or any attention at all, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys will watch the next one. This will be most of the time a daily upload of just whatever's on my mind, like I said in the beginning. But I have to repeat it because sometimes people skip to the end. But it'll be a daily upload thing of just me talking, having some like rain or something going on in the background. And that's pretty much it. With a black screen. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing different about this at all. But I guess to end this off, I can give like an inspirational quote that I live by, which is, if you can believe, you can achieve. Whatever you believe in, you can achieve it. So, stay humble, stay honorable, and have a nice day, everyone. See you guys in the next video.